My name is Jake Randolph, and I'm here to inform y'all about the ins and outs of fly fishing. Ian Whitelaw, author of History of Fly Fishing and 50 Flies, stated, "Fly fishing has been referred to an art as much as a sport, and in the case of fly fishing, the artisanal experience extends beyond the practice of the act itself." As we move on as a society and we go forward in technology with 5G phones and electric cars, it's important for us to take a step back and look back at nature and the activities that glorify it. Today I'll be informing y'all about fly fishing, and to do that I'll show y'all three main points: the history, the equipment, and the art behind it. So let's dive in. The first point is the history. The history of fishing itself dates back farther than we ever know. But the first recording of it, stated by Robert Lee Petrie, an author from Encyclopedia Britannica, stated that fishing has gone back to 2000 BC, and this is the time of ancient Egyptians. Furthermore, fly fishing has been widely used around the country, but Andrew Hurd, author of The Fly, stated about 430 years ago, people native to Japan used U-bent needles and flies and just the line, no reel, to catch trout and their native fish, ayua. This became a precursor of fly fishing and was called ayua fishing. It's funny because fishing surrounds us wherever we go. You might know a guy by the name of Shakespeare. His best friend, John Denny, was his fishing buddy. John Denny was the first person to write poems about fishing and the secrets of angling that was published in early Britain. Here is a picture of someone ayua fishing. As you can see, he's only using line and a fly, and there's no reel. Our second point is equipment. The equipment of a fly fisherman ranges from anything to a nice pair of pliers or their favorite backpack. But when asking Daniel Randolph, an avid fly fisherman, he stated you need three things to get going: a fly rod, a fly reel, and fly line. And these things differ from regular fishing to almost to the extreme. The rod, for instance, is lighter and longer. This is because you're only throwing a lure that is maybe an ounce, and this allows it to reach out and place where you want it. The reel, unlike a regular fishing reel, is a true circle, and there's not really a handle. There's only a stub on the left or right side. This is because you usually pull the line instead of reel it in. And the line is totally different than any fly fishing line. Fishing line ranges from pound tests from 4 to 12, but fly line is totally different. Fly line is the line that reaches from the reel to the leader, and this line is usually a bright color like yellow or orange, and it's weighted. This is because your lure you're throwing has no weight, and you need something to guide it through the rod, and that's why you use fly line. The thing that connects the fly line is a leader. This is because the fly line is a fluorescent color that fish will see, and you need a clear line with thickness at the end where it meets a fly line and a smaller diameter at the end where it meets a tippet. The tippet is a peculiar piece of line because it only ranges from 2 to 4 pound test. And this is because the flies you're using, the lure, is only about as big as a pinky nail. And with that, the hole you need to tie the line through is smaller than an eye of a needle. So you need a small diameter line to fit through that. Let's get to the art. Like Ian Whitelaw stated, fishing has been referred as an art as much as a sport. In the case of fly fishing, the artisanal practice extends from the act itself. The art, as you may know, the art of fly fishing is very real, and it's pronounced in two different ways. The first way is the fly. This is the fourth equipment that you need, and also where the art of fly fishing extends out. These lures are handmade and take hours to perfect and make. They are made from string, animal hair, glitter, and feathers. and practically anything you can get your hands on. A fly, unlike most lures today in the market, have no food-like scent or smell, and they're only designed to fool the fish by their appearance. And this is very hard because a fish is very smart to trick. And for fly fishing, it's even harder because it has no scent. So therefore, fly fishermen take care and practice to put their hard work, sweat, and tears into something that hopefully will catch them a fish of a lifetime. The second part of the art behind fly fishing is the tactics. Fly fishing is very different from regular fishing because usually you're in the water. You're in waders and you have wader boots on. And these wader boots are very important because they don't disrupt the algae and the life they live, because they have a felt bottom and you have to sneak up and creep until you get to where you want to go. The casting is very much an art form because it's not just regularly throwing it out. You have to remember you're throwing a tiny, tiny piece of metal, feathers, and glitter out into the water. So this takes practice and art to accomplish. Even furthermore, you have to know where the fish are. And then when you're fly fishing, as you can see, the water is usually clear, and the fish can see you before you can see them. So you have to carefully place yourself where the fish can't see you, but you can see the fish. And this is why it's such an art. In conclusion, today I hope you were informed about the art and sport of fly fishing. We dove into the history from the ancient Egyptians in 2000 BC to Ayua fishing in Japan, and even the Shakespeare's fishing buddy, John Denny. And I hope you learned a little bit about equipment. We listened to Daniel Randolph, an avid fly fisherman, talking about the rod, the reel, and the line. And I hope you got to learn a little about how fly fishing is just as much as an art, as a sport, by learning about how the flies are made and the tactics that go into fly fishing. So, when you're done, if you want to go fly fishing, get these things, and you can go out to a major river and fly fish, or go to a creek in your neighborhood. It doesn't matter where, as long as you have fun. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed.